entrepreneurs are kind of known for being not good at everything, but maybe smart or dumb enough to just go ahead anyway. But they're usually good at one thing a little bit more than another. You confess in the book that supply chain management is not really your thing,
yes.
and that shows up as a problem here and again. So how did you wade into that? For the folks out there who are avoiding the thing they don't really like to do, they're not really good at, but they are, after all, the buck stops with them. How did you wade into that, and how do you emphasize that versus the things you are really good at, the storytelling part of the business?
Well, I think all of us as entrepreneurs believe that we can do everything and we know better. And the truth is we can't do everything and we don't know best all the time. I think when I look back on the history of how we built the company, you have to invest ahead of the growth curve. And that means you've got to hire people who have the skill base and experience beyond the size of the business. And you have to invest in the infrastructure in order to keep the trains on time and also to anticipate the growth of the company. When I say that the growth of Starbucks and the success of Starbucks covered up mistakes, we were not investing in the back side of the company. We were not investing in supply chain. We were not investing in technology. We were not investing in manufacturing. We were just accelerating the growth of the company. And I think when we started rebuilding the team, we then realized that we needed competency well beyond the size of Starbucks, and we needed the kind of capability that we had never had before. Now, the issue at hand, though, is you can't attract and retain those people if you don't give them the resources and the allocation. And I think going out and hiring a guy like Peter Gibbons, who now came to Starbucks and is running supply chains, we had to give him the budget that we never had before and investing in areas. And I think too much of the time sometimes is focused on the customer and not on the back side of the business. Now, the reason we've been able to succeed in the last year and a half is because we've made a much deeper investment in the things that the customer doesn't see, and as a result of that, our work is being received much better.
And you speak about one of the things you embrace is lean work business, where you empower the people downline to make important decisions about productivity in the workplace.
Well, again, someone came to me with they said, "Will you just read a couple of chapters of this book about Toyota's practices?" And I read the chapters, and I was blown away by the fact that I had ignored all of this in the past. And so we brought someone into the company who really understood lean practices, and we began to attack the labor side of retail movement and retail operations in our stores. And again, this was another aspect of being able to create productivity in a seamless way that ultimately improved the way our people do the work, which they appreciated, and gave the customer a better experience.
You have this notion of the third place, which is a prominent and important part of Starbucks' strategy. What does this mean in the nation, in a world that you didn't know about when you conceived of the third place, where everybody's blogging and everyone's chatting online, the third place being a place where communities can come together outside of work and home?
Well, I think the issue that I would try and describe is there's been such a seismic change to consumer behavior. And as a result of that, any business, small or large or consumer-based or not, that is going to continue to embrace the status quo, in my view, is in deep trouble. Now, so the question is, how do you, in a sense, create the balance between preserving your core business, but at the same time pushing for relevant innovation? And I think for us, I never imagined that people would be walking in with a smartphone or a handheld computer or whatever they were going to be doing and spending hours at Starbucks as their office. We certainly never got a rent check. But once we saw that, the question was, could we create something that potentially could enhance the experience? So when we went free Wi-Fi, we just didn't create free Wi-Fi. What we created was a Starbucks digital network that is proprietary to us, that provides unique proprietary content and premium services. In the last 90 days, we've introduced mobile payment at Starbucks. And in less than 90 days, Starbucks is the #1 company in America in terms of revenue and transactions in mobile payment. So I think, again, going back to the fact that you've got to be curious and you really need to understand, where is technology moving? How is the consumer embracing it? And then asking yourself, what can we do as an enterprise to be highly relevant to the seismic change in consumer behavior? And that also has to do with the fact that everyone must understand the discipline and the capability within your organization with regard to social and digital media, and you must participate in a way, because without that, traditional marketing, traditional advertising is going to be significantly subordinated by what is going on, and this is a life of its own that's not coming back. And social and digital media is here to stay, and every company in America, for that matter the world, must have that discipline in place. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Now, we have a goal for everyone's time here. You take time out of your days, and we're so grateful that you and Howard did. And we always like to think, are there 3 big ideas, and maybe something actionable that might come out of this today? And I just want to briefly share with you the 3 big ideas I took away. So I learned that love is an essential part of business.
That's true.
And that you've got to bring back the love. I also heard that you've got to get dirty, and maybe some dirty love.
Love and dirty, I don't know how that...
And ideas are a critical lifeblood to a business, that in creating those ideas, looking in the rearview mirror or having a sense of your culture while innovating is an important function that needs to take place at our companies. But then finally, most importantly, the courage to be decisive in the face of skepticism, which we all face every day, a critical component. Love, ideas, and courage. Thank you, Howard, for your time today.
Thank you.